Welcome to the Kingdom Creative Podcast, your number one resource for Christian content creators who have a heart for ministry and a call to business.
Let's talk about what I'm building. I think that would be pretty valuable. So let's talk about what I'm building. I think a lot of times, at least for me, right, you see people that are doing some great things and it's like, okay, that's dope, but like, what are you working on now? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to know, like, in your tool chest, like, what are you working on now? And a lot of times people don't tell you. At least for me, like I've kind of had to struggle with that, where I'm kind of like, man, I'm just saving this, I'm holding on to this, I'm building this, I'm growing this, and then I'm about to launch this, and it's going to be epic, and all this kind of stuff. And what I realized is that really hasn't served me too well. It's just wasted effort, you know? Like, for what? Sometimes the fear could be that, okay, well, maybe people will like copy you or jack you or do something like that, which, you know, there's already people doing what you're doing. They can just copy and jack them. And also too, like, people are too lazy to do that. You know, they might get inspired or something, but they're not going to take any kind of action anyways. They're really not. And even if they did, let's just say that they did, like, then it's all good. Now you got a buddy who's doing the same thing you are, and you guys can vibe together. So there's not really, that's kind of one area, right? But then there's another area where people don't like to show what they're building because of insecurity. There's like a fear, you know, it's like, man, I don't know if this is smart, if this is good, if I'm doing good. I don't know, like, how well I stack up. I'm learning something. I'm kind of making a lot of mistakes. I don't know it all. And once again, that's a wasted effort as well. And so I wanted to share with you guys today what I'm building. So for many of you that know me, I have a media company, Storyline Media Group, based in Sacramento, California. And it's kind of taken some changes. For a large part of the success of Storyline, it used to be called just SL Media before. And when it was SL Media, I was doing a lot of music videos. I was doing a lot of real estate agents and just kind of your regular run-of-the-mill stuff. It wasn't until I rebranded to Storyline with a new logo and a new name, I actually wrote it all out and all this stuff, that's when I started getting into government, working with government, nonprofits, social impact, all that kind of stuff. But mainly government education, like that was kind of the umbrella. And it was great, you know, and it still is great. And I still do that work. But there's some pros and cons with that work. You know, pros is like, man, hey, they got budgets usually, right? There's a lot to be said about that. They're easy to find. They're easy to get to. I'm in Sacramento, California. Like, I'm connected to these people all the time. And that was part of the realization, was like, look at where you're at, you know? So that's cool. You know, there's obviously some cons too, like long sales cycles. And sometimes it can be a political game. And, you know, like there's other ways to navigate it and stuff like that. But for a large part, it's been good and all that kind of stuff. Well, I started realizing, like, man, I need to add more. I need to kind of level up. Not like I've done it all, but I'm doing well. I need to kind of add another lane. And so then I got into video podcasting. And I had always been doing video podcasting here and there, but I really just doubled down and started branding and started creating messaging and started actively going after clients to get them to do a video podcast. And I had a specific aim with this, and this is kind of based on what I was doing with government, is I wanted to make sure that there was a certain level, like it had to be worth it, right? Because video podcasting doesn't have the same perceived value as like a commercial or a documentary or something. And rightly so, right? You just lock off cameras, you know, set up lights and stuff like that. People are not willing to pay $20,000 for a podcast. You know what I mean? And so I had to kind of figure out a way to make it worth it. You know, I enjoyed it. I knew that it was good. I believe in the format. I think that it's a huge business booster. Like it really is. And I'll share why. But anyways, all that to say, like, I knew I needed to do it. I just was trying to figure out a way to do it that made sense. And so I created a model, set pricing. Basically, it's $500 an episode. And that includes a whole turnkey solution. You come in, I got a studio, set up lights, click on cameras, you know, record out, give you an edit, give you some, you know, a couple social media reels. You know what I mean? Like it's a done for you situation. It's very nice. You bring in your clients. They're like, wow, this is amazing. I feel awesome, you know, and we get cooking, you know? And so the strategy or the way that I kind of, was able to make it worth it for me was I said, I'm only going to interview people, or I'm only going to host people's podcasts that are actually like movers and shakers. Like, it's okay if you got the money and you're wanting to do it, but you're not really. I would probably pass, to be honest with you. And I would say, I only want to do it with the top kind of thought leaders in my region, because that's where you're going to get the most ROI. That's where you're going to hear the most high level conversations. That's where you're going to, and even though there may be few of those are the most valuable. They really are. And they produce the most fruit in the long run, especially from doing this kind of work. And I've done this work for years. I've helped launch several different podcasts. And so, that was kind of the differentiator that made it worth it for me. And so that's recently what I've been doing and focusing on. And I'm building that up too. I already got 3 more people in the pipeline, having conversations. And what I really love about this, and let me just tell you this from a creative entrepreneurial kind of behind the curtain thing. For most of our careers or whatever, as creative entrepreneurs, we're struggling for business. It's like up and down, start and stop, feast and famine. And it can get really, really taxing. And don't get me wrong, like I do still experience those kind of things. But when you start building out these layers on top of other layers, it now diversifies you from that. It's like it's harder to make you feel that way. You still feel that way. Don't get me wrong. Like I still wish I had a lot more to do a lot more. But for the most part, you're insulated a little bit more. It's not knocking the whole ship over. You know what I mean? If the government stuff slows down, which it is, then the podcasting stuff picks up. And if the podcasting, you know what I mean? But the trick is though, and this is a strong word of caution, the trick is you can't do it all at once. You just can't. I know. I thought I was that guy. I really did, man. I thought I was that guy. I thought I was different, And I burnt out multiple times. Literally got diagnosed with, I forgot what they called it. Like it was some sort of an anxiety. And I've always had anxiety. I've always wrestled with anxiety, but this was like a daily living anxiety or something. I forgot what it's called. But anyways, diagnosed with that, given medication for it and all this kind of stuff. And so I know what it's like to try to do it all. And you don't want to do it all. You want to build it out slowly. But let me just share. That's a big old long intro just to share exactly what it is that I'm building now. What are you working on now? Right now, I am working on AI and automations. I think that is by far going to be the most bang for your buck and the best thing that you could possibly get into. Now, here's the caveat. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about this and praying about this and talking about this and really trying to hear from God about this, because it can be very tempting. And you see this when you do business for a while, you begin to see this. Like, it could be very tempting to see this and go, this is my way out. This is my way out. This is my way of stopping the bleeding of this stop, doing. I could finally solve all my solutions if I just, nobody's using these tools. I can use this tool and I can make a bunch of money. And I guess that there's some people that can do that and that do that. But let me just tell you, that is not a good strategy. And you need to be very, very careful if you start thinking like that. And I laugh because I've thought like that. But it's just that is not how business works. And I think that that's probably one of the main lessons is like, there's a way that business works. There's a way that these things actually operate. And I know you think you're different. And I know you think you're the exception. And I know you think you're smart enough and you can do it and you can hustle more hours and you can do it. I know. Trust me, I know. But you can't. And it's not because you're not good enough. It's just because it doesn't work like that. I think that's that's the message. Like, we always hearing that, and we're hearing that like, oh, it's because I need to be more, become more. No, it's not. It's not you. It's this, it's how this thing works. So all that to say, I have been building a lot of AI automations, a lot of AI agents, playing with all of the multiple tools, building out landing pages, learning coding, Next.js, which is like a kind of reactive type of coding for web design and stuff like that, using tools like Cursor, using tools like N8N for automations and make.com, integrating with several different types of APIs for like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, playing with DeepSeek and Manus AI, the Chinese versions, like doing it all, head deep into AI and automations. Very connected to the community. I actually have never been on X, Twitter. It's just never been a platform for me. But that's where all the dev guys are. That's where all the designers are. That's where all the AI guys are. And I found myself super connected to X lately, which is just strange because I'm like, man, I never even really liked this platform for nothing, for news, for nothing. But I'm in there now. So all this to say, I've been diving headfirst into this, and this is what I'm building. Now, I want to give you some encouragement with this. I do think that you should learn this, especially as a creative entrepreneur. This is going to make your life a lot easier. And it's going to make, let me just say this, maybe that's the wrong way to put it, like make your life easier. It's going to make your life multiply faster. You can do more with less. Like that's the big takeaway is like, you have more people on your team. What if you had somebody running your social and calling leads for you and scraping stuff and sending emails and giving you reports and telling you data and doing your taxes? And, like, what if you had somebody just doing all that stuff for you? It'd probably help you do a lot more of what you do best. And that's the whole point. But let me just say this, right? And this is what I really feel like. This is what I feel like God gave me. I really do, because I prayed about it. And I was asking God, like, man, God, is this a distraction? Is this taking me away? But I'm so fascinated and I love this stuff. And I've really just hooked on and gravitated to it. And I believe in it and all this stuff. And this is what I believe he told me, is that AI can be great for branding, but it's a bad business idea. And what I mean by that is I think that for me, at least, I can use it to grow my brand. I can use it to do more with less and to maximize my efforts and to create content and to share and to become a thought leader and all this kind of stuff. Like it's really good for branding, for building a brand, but it's not good for building a business. And here's why. It's changing too quickly. It's impossible. Like you build a whole model on Gemini and then Claude comes out with Claude 8 and then you build that and some Chinese version comes out. Like it's impossible to keep up with this race right now. It's just impossible. And there's people with way more money, way more time, way more infrastructure that are going to do it way more faster, way more better. And it's just a race that you don't want to be in. You just like, it's a bad business idea. Once again, understanding that business is a way that things are done. Business functions in a certain way. It's hard if you don't come from a mind of business like I didn't. It's hard to understand that. I thought like business is just what you make it. Business is what you just create, like a picture you paint on the wall. And unfortunately, it's not. It's a system that you function inside of. And when you attempt to go outside that system, you're going to get bad results. That's just how it was designed. Like there's a design, it's a system, it's a mechanism. So with all that being said, I think that AI and the way that it's going and the speed that it's moving, I think it's a bad business idea. Unless you're like raising seed funding and, venture capitalists and you're trying to like go all out and do this thing on some other crazy level. Like this is the only thing you're doing. You're coding for 12 hours a day and you know what I mean? Like, unless that's your life, then I would say it's a bad business idea. At least right now, like it's just moving too fast. But it's a good branding idea. It's a great branding idea. It's it checks all of the boxes to build and to grow your brand. And so that was the answer to me. And then the second answer apart with that was like, hey, stop building all this stuff. Just build what you need. Like it's a kid in a candy shop. I'm like, I build this and build this and build this. And all of a sudden I start finding myself building automations and agents for things that I'll never use. But I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Let me build this thing. You know what I mean? But I'm like, where are you going to use that at? Now I got to go find somebody to use it. I built a whole grant tracker. And that was cool. And that was awesome. And it was fun. But I ain't never going to use it. You know what I mean? And so I built it. I'm going to still make it available because I already built it. But things like that, like, hey, just slow down, chill out. Like build some stuff for sure. Have some fun. Don't get me wrong. But like, just start with building the stuff that you need. So what am I building? It's again, big old long conversation, right? What am I building? I'm building some automations to help me with my podcasting. So I'm trying to create an automation of some sort that when I drop a WAV file into a certain folder, it will trigger an automation that will download that WAV file, transcribe it, chop it into show notes, chop it into social media cuts, chop it into all this other stuff, give me descriptions, captions, all blah, 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 just go crazy. And then create graphics with that and upload those to a scheduler ready to be scheduled. And kick back maybe like a report to me with all of the copies so that I could give it to the client or I could use it or whatever. Like just some sort of an automation that automates this part of the business that is a common part. Like, man, I would just love to just drop it in a folder and have an automation constantly watching that folder. And every time something's dropped, it just clicks, boom, and starts going off and doing its thing. And the next thing you know, I drive home and I got everything ready to go. Like, so that's one of the automations. And of course, it'll be extremely valuable, right? Like, once again, like, who wouldn't want to pay that? If I built it out and could implement it in your podcasting services, like, I think that'd be worth $30 a month or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's a small price to pay. So yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing that I'm building out is social media automation, really trying to figure out like the Canva API and how to create graphics in bulk. You can directly schedule them, which, is becoming easier and easier to do. So that's cool. But really trying to do like bulk image creation and learning how to do templates and things like that. And so that's another one. Another one is a proposal. And I've been kind of playing with this idea, like, do I want to just, because I can connect it to a Telegram message or a WhatsApp message so that whenever I drop something in there, it automatically triggers an automation that takes all that information, puts it in Google Slides, formats it in a slide deck, creates an email, sends it back to me for a draft. I approve it, send it off, like literally instantaneously. Like it can happen in a moment, like just so quickly. Like imagine yourself, right? And this is a huge one. This is why I kind of deviated a little bit. I got caught with some shiny objects, but I'm coming back to it again because it really is a powerful one. You meet with a client and you literally 15 minutes go by and they get a text message with a link to a PDF that you sent them that references your whole entire conversation, that gives them a strategic plan for next steps, that gives them a pricing and portfolio and examples of what, think about it. Like, think about it. Like what would that, like, how is that even possible? We just got done having coffee. And this fool just shot me over a fully designed PDF with examples about certain use cases of the things that we talked about, with text from everything that I told him was important to me, a summary of it all, next steps, and a link to book a call for the next meeting. Like, one, I think that just from a logistic perspective, like, that's incredibly valuable from a time saving. Like, I hate sending proposals. I'm pretty sure you're like that too, man. Like, look, man, just here's what it is. You want to do it or not? Like, I don't want to sit there and beg you. I don't want to sit there and follow up with you. But how many times have you lost business because you didn't follow up? So once again, like, you can, there's a certain way that business is done, and that's a part of business. It's like whoever's top of mind, whoever's quickest to respond. Like, it's not about you. It's not about anything. It's just that's the way business works. And so whoever's quicker to respond is going to win more of the business. So imagine if you were able to do that. And then you literally were walking to your car, filling out the information in a form. That's what I'm going to do now. Instead of the message, I'm going to do a form. You fill out a message in a form, you submit the form, boom, it does everything. You get out of the car, you got it, you send it off. You just review it, make sure everything's right, blah, blah, blah. Good, like it. Literally, the email is already queued up in your drafts. In other words, it already has a name, it already has a subject title, it already has all the contents inside there and the links and everything, and it's already ready to go. You just need to look at it and press send. Like, that's phenomenal, man. That's fire. And that would save me a lot of time and a lot of worry and a lot of mental anguish of like, I got to send that proposal. Oh, I got to figure out these prices. Oh, I got to, like, yeah, I ain't trying to do all that. So those are just some of the ideas of what I've been building. N8N has been a huge platform for me. It's an automation platform. I've been learning a lot. I'm going to share some of the builds and things like that. Cursor, developing custom web apps, has been another one. There's another one called Bolt, which is for building out web pages. And then just a bunch of tools. One of the graphic tools is called Placid AI, kind of playing with that one. Some of the image generation stuff and GPT and Claude, building out custom MCPs. If you don't know what an MCP is, I would definitely look into that and familiarize with that. It's Claude's kind of solution to a problem within some of this AI stuff is, like if you go into Claude right now and you're trying to search the web, depending on when you're watching this video, but it may not be built in, but you can build that in through an MCP that gives it access to do certain stuff that it normally couldn't do. It's like adding additional environments, little upgrades to Claude, because you can do it in GPT now and stuff, but like it basically like little enhancements. You can make it search. So for example, if you ripped a YouTube video link and you put it in Claude and it said, summarize this video, it wouldn't know how to do it because it doesn't have access to YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But with an MCP that gives it that access, it acts kind of like a bridge. And now it has all the access and the data from YouTube. And so now it can actually do that. I can go into my Claude and say, summarize this video. Give me 5 points about this video. Give me a social media post about this video. Give me a content, strategy about it. Like I can ask it whatever I want, just straight boom. And it'll give it to me because I've created an MCP server that connects with YouTube and basically is that little bridge for my LLM, large language model. And now this access of information from YouTube. So building out MCPs, I think I have about 13 of them right now installed in my Claude. Firecrawl, which is another one, scraping local business listings, all kind of stuff. That's another thing too, is really just kind of playing with some lead scraping stuff, list building stuff. I think it's fascinating for me. I can't say I have a real specific use case for it. It's always useful, but I'm not really the cold outreach kind of guy. Like, it's something I'm down to grow in, but I don't have a ton of experience in cold outreach. Like that's not really my jam. But I'm learning about it and I think it's fascinating and it's good. People build entire businesses on that. Like, I think it's a good thing, but it's a skill set. So so those are some of the things I've been building out, but I would love to know your thoughts on any of that and hear if there's anything that resonated with you. Drop some questions. Maybe I can create some content around that and hopefully be a benefit to you in your journey where you're at. All right, man. Till next time.